welcome everyone. Nobody asked for this. Episode 10-ish.
What if I know?
Yeah, been a few of them coming out here. It's been a long time since you've been on.
Yeah, very long time.
Been having people been cheating on you.
I know. I just tolerate it.
Yeah. Cucking you. Your host cucking.
Yeah, let's not call it that. But that's fine. Sure. You gotta have guests, you know. You gotta keep the momentum going.
Yeah, it's been rough because I haven't had a chance to, tell people, get people on. Busy holidays. It's just January, New Year.
I know.
New us.
January. Yeah. It's a whole new year. It's a whole new us. These are all the facts, and feels good, you know.
Yep.
Going into a new year, we're gonna fuck shit up.
You got an election coming.
God.
That's this year.
It's terrifying.
You don't know.
It's super scary.
Trump 2024
Oh God.
coming. Can't stop it.
I don't know what's gonna happen, but it's not gonna be good for anyone.
Yeah. It'll be 2024 is a year of weirdness. I think.
You think so?
Yeah, it's gonna get real weird this year.
Weirder than normal?
Yeah. The election, maybe some alien shit coming out.
More alien shit?
Yeah, I think we made contact this year.
No.
Yeah, I think this is the year.
This is the year. You heard it here first.
And when we make contact with the aliens, what leader do you want out there more than Trump? I defy you.
Nearly anybody.
I defy you to name a single person ready for that big of a...
I mean, do I want a deranged geriatric lunatic, or do I want a geriatric, ineffective, middling, very geriatric?
Yeah.
Like, those are your options.
Mid is boring, so we're not going to go with mid.
Nah, we stay based.
Yeah. So, all right. So I guess before we get into the topic for today, because you and I got pretty hot over something last night.
Got real hot.
For
steamy.
topic, but
got real steamed up.
Before we get into that, some housekeeping things here. Number one, Chiefs will be playing soon. So I got this for that.
That's tomorrow. Big day for the Chiefs.
So we're ready for that. So
You're ready for that.
This ignorant rant brought to you by Topo Chico.
You trying to force a sponsorship?
Yeah. I mean, would that be a great sponsorship to have?
Oh man, I miss it. I'm doing a dry January.
Which brings me to segment 2. You are without Topo Chico. You're Sans.
I'm Sans Topo Chico, and it's been good, but Jesus Christ.
You picked the longest month, one of the longest months.
Is it? I mean, it's like the one that people do. And, I needed it. I needed to dry out a little bit. It's been good for my mental health, for my physical health, for sure. I find myself just, craving sweets.
Oh.
That's the weird thing. Just, because those are really sweet beverages, and they're carbonated. They're very refreshing.
They are refreshing.
Sweet? As soon as I found those, I was not super sweet, but sweet enough, I don't drink soda, so that's pretty sweet for me. I'll drink. So now I have to have a popsicle or a lemonade or something just to be I need to get that. Because usually I just drink coffee or water or a latte throughout the day.
Okay.
And then at night I kind of want something sweet to finish out the day.
Interesting, because I don't really, I don't drink really unless it's the weekend.
Yeah.
And there's something going on, we're at the bar or a straight up party sort of situation. Other than that, I don't really. But midweek I will crave something sweet. I try to do good and not.
Well, it's working out too. I think you get you sweat out all the salts, and I get weird cravings after workouts.
Yeah.
Because I've been doing a lot more of that just to fill my time.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just workout.
We're talking things other than soccer.
Other than soccer, yeah, just running, going to the gym, supplemental, just things to do when you're being sober. Yeah. You have to occupy your time.
And by gym, you're talking rock climbing, you're not really hitting weights and stuff, right?
No, I do. I don't just climb there. I've been doing more cardio. I don't even climb that much. I haven't climbed I hurt my shoulder, so I haven't been able to. Okay. 2 weeks. But I've been going to the gym almost like every other day ish.
Oh damn! I didn't realize you were slinging weights like that.
I'm not like this. I do
Not
more.
yet.
I do like floor work and running on the treadmill and different cardio stuff because I've just been trying to get better at that. Just like squats and lunges and then things. But yeah, I'll just do free weights. I still like. I don't ever get on the bench press.
Okay, no benching.
I do push-ups instead.
Let's get though with the squats and the lunges and stuff. Those are soccer exercises.
Yeah. I need it.
How's that Achilles holding up?
It's been way better. I've been fucking crushing it lately. Actually, no injuries right now besides the shoulder injury, which came from playing soccer, but that's totally manageable. So I'm like, I'm playing at a good form right now.
All right.
Like, it's been good.
2024. So yeah.
Yeah.
New you.
Yeah.
Aliens. Trump presidency.
Yep.
These are looking up.
Kind of.
All right, cool. Well, that's some of the housekeeping, kind of catch up the audience, all 8 of you, on what's going on with Caleb. Nothing going on with me. Working, bullshit, talking with John Dretzka.
Yeah, I mean, I have no business in that conversation.
Well, you could have had some business in there because we kind of veered off. We didn't spend too much time on the Chiefs though.
Well, I just meant like if I was there, like I know you guys wanted to go in on the Chiefs. I would have just been distracting it. I would have derailed it for my own selfish intentions because I'm not going to be able to add much to the conversation.
I feel like you add more than you think you could. I mean, you're not a fan, but you've seen enough Mahomes to know.
Yeah, I can talk shit.
Well, you can do that. Yeah.
We
could have bounced off you like shit talking about Mahomes because there is a lot of that going on for the haters out there. I want to hate on greatness.
No, look, I like Mahomes. I think like when he's on, obviously he's a great athlete, but he's goofy sometimes.
He is goofy.
Like, some of the shit he does, and then like when he was crying halfway through the season, because I just catch the social media shit, like little snippets. I'm like, why is he crying?
He wasn't crying.
He was crying for a while.
He had watery eyes because it was cold outside.
He's chopping onions. He was kind of crying.
He had watery eyes, man. They were dry. Like,
no, I just yeah. He was like not getting them calls.
So I'm not even okay. I will get into this a little bit just because I have a coworker who's like, so he's a gambling fiend.
Oh,
I don't know if I told you this, but he's a guy who just this year has won $500,000.
Dude, sometimes I want to do that.
I want to do it too. I want him to teach me because he won this money through fantasy.
Yeah. So
like you go on every week, you pick a fantasy team.
Right.
Whoever highest points.
You can put money on your fantasy team.
Yeah, but you set it up like the day of, and it's only like for that week. So every week you have to set a new you pick new players. Yeah. So the idea is that say if you pick 7 players, right? Most people are going to pick about the same people that they think are going to like explode that week. Okay. So the tactic is to pick that one player that's like no one else picks and takes you over the top. Like maybe a lesser known wide receiver or running back that no one else picks, but they happen to score like 20 points.
The odds are like big swing odds.
Yeah. Because so that's the thing, and he's won it twice. The first time he won it, he won like $300,000. The second time he won like $260,000 or something along those lines. Right.
I need that. That's what I need. I need that kind of come up.
But he puts out these are like $1,000 bets that he's putting down. It's already risky.
It's very risky. Yeah.
And I was like, dude, like show me the ropes and stuff. And it's just like you don't want no part of this. Like the whole what's it? Walk Dewey Cox.
You don't want no part of this, Dewey.
It's not habit forming.
It definitely is habit forming. Like the agony and the ecstasy of like winning big has got to be pretty addicting.
Right. So I can imagine him like coming up because I was like, dude, you won like $500,000 this year. Like, why aren't you excited? And he's just kind of like, if I could show you how much I lost this year, he'd be like, nah.
Well, yeah, then like don't tell people you want to have $1 million. Like, why are you giving the spread? I'm up 20,000.
Yeah.
Versus like whatever,
Yeah. And it's just like gonna keep going.
But that's the thing, fast money, man, fast in, fast out. You know, like when you're doing that, it seems like I'm just like, dude, if I had one big come up, like if I had $275,000 come up, I could spread that out and I could make that work for me. You know, like
You'd hope so.
but yeah, but that's the thing. It's like if you win it on gambling, like if you do it once, you think you can do it again.
Yeah, got it right. Like, oh yeah, I got it figured out. Like, I know how the odds work.
Yeah, I'm kind of lucky. I've never had like a big lucky like hit like that. Mm-hmm. I feel like it would be super easy to get like sucked into that shit.
I'd like to think I know when to walk away, but all of my gambling experience in Vegas has shown me I may not.
Yeah, like every time I go to Vegas, I'm just like, I don't know. I've won, I've been up, and then it's just like, oh, I've got 2 days left.
Yeah.
And just like,
yeah.
I don't like lose. Well, I don't know. It's just I also go with the intention to like kind of lose.
Well, if you go there with that, like, okay, I have $200, like this is it.
Well, 200. You can't even spend 2 hours
just
for that.
Yeah, it's really
like
nothing.
Kick you out. That's
laugh
what
at you.
Up with. Yeah.
But the idea is, okay, I go here with X amount of money, and after this money's gone, I stop. Okay, that's one thing. If you go there knowing to lose, but it's just that when you get that $100 up, $200, you start to think, you figure something out.
Yeah.
And if you start to lose, it's like that's the one-off, right? Like, oh, this is an anomaly, me losing.
Yeah.
I need to keep going to get back on
the win.
Yeah.
No, it's such a slippery slope. But yeah, because I've had it where I've won early and I've been up like a couple $100, and then it's like, if I could have just stopped then and like walked away, it's like, oh yeah, I went to Vegas. But it's like, what are you gonna do for the rest of the time? Just like lock yourself in the hotel room, and then just like pay for your dinners. Like the whole point is to be there and do fucking dumb shit.
It's a playground for adults.
That's what they say.
Yeah. It's kind of sucked. Last time I went there. I mean, we went and saw a show, which was cool, but it was like kind of dead. There weren't really. I mean, it was Christmas. I don't know if people want to do gambling, degenerate shit.
Probably more locals around that time, I would guess.
Yeah. Although I did run into a lady who was there. She was like, "I'm here without my husband and kids, and like I'm
gonna be that lady."
Just like by herself drinking, having a ball, dude. Like
those are the kind of people you will find at that time for sure. The lady who's just like, I just said fuck it. Everything, everyone, all my responsibilities. I came to Vegas on Christmas knowing it was probably going to be dead and like loving it. You know? Like, but I don't blame her. Yeah.
Oh, not at all.
I was like, I'm not going to say she's miserable. Maybe she's very happy.
No, she seemed extremely happy. Like, she was
happy in life or happy to be away from her life?
In life, just kind of like, she was in the military. So she was with her second husband. Her first husband, I guess she left for the guy she met in the military.
Oh.
They've been like all over the world, according to her. Okay. Done all these things. She's retired. I don't think he was, but anyway, they're just like they're set, and she's just like, now's my time to just like
do my shit,
kick it. She didn't seem to have a care in the world. I'm just like, damn, like that's what you want to be when you turn 60.
Yeah, fuck yeah, man. That's awesome, honestly.
Yeah.
And it just goes to show, like perspective is everything. She's there on vacation by herself, loving it. You're there looking, judging.
I wasn't judging. I was like,
dead here. This isn't cool. It's kind of lame. She's having the best time ever.
Yeah, she was living a good life. Okay, so do you want to get into what we're talking about?
Straight into the latest and greatest, the top 10 fucking
hit single that swarmed the world.
Did it? I didn't even look at the view count, honestly. Let's see what it's up to.
Well, you look it up while I set up the situation. Yeah. All right. So, speaking of John, in our conversation last week, he at one point said something about me being really good at talking to like conservatives without like snapping. Yeah. And I told him he was generally correct, but it's getting to the point where I'm really losing patience with a lot of like dumb shit. And atop of that list is this new industry based solely around being canceled, or the concept of being someone that the world wants to cancel. and it's stupid on multiple levels. Uh, Starting with the simple fact that all these motherfuckers aren't even being canceled.
No.
These people that are so-called being canceled are about as successful as they could be, probably more successful than they would have been.
A lot of people found their success after being quote unquote canceled.
Yeah, like it's absolutely part of their like their business plan. Yeah. You know?
And I think to some of their credit, like some people are self-aware enough that like I saw an interview with like Tony Hinchcliffe, who's a comedian who does Kill Tony.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if you're familiar. He quote unquote got canceled, and it was the best thing that ever happened to his career. You know, same thing with like Shane Gillis, and I don't see either one of them really crying about it. Like, in fact, the interview I saw with Tony, he basically credited it to a lot of his success, and it's like that's what it is like so funny about like anyone who's still out there on this like fighting this like excuse me war on wokeism,
right.
And being like all they want to do is cancel. It's like, bro, like who's canceled? Who got canceled besides people who legitimately like did terrible things?
Yeah, like people that are in jail right now.
Like your Weinsteins. And yeah, there was some collateral damage through like the growing pains of like social cancellations, if you will. But that just means like people were calling you out on Twitter.
Yeah.
Like that disagreed with you or wanted to say something, and like, yeah, that self-righteousness can get annoying, especially online. But it's like not any more or less annoying than just being a full-on troll on the internet, you know. So like, what's better? And like, I don't know. Like, I don't know how to wrap that up in a neat bow. But we also like got way far from thing we wanted to talk about.
Well, there's two things that really set me off, and one I was holding back because I was just like, okay, this isn't like really bothering me that much, which is so I just not just but very recently I watched the Dave Chappelle special,
right?
Which is Dave Chappelle is not the GOAT.
No,
far from it.
He was at one point he was looking to be a contender for that title,
right?
And I think he went up, and he didn't have what it took.
Yeah, we prematurely gave him that title, and when I look back on some of his stuff, obviously we can't take away what he did with the Chappelle Show.
Yeah.
Okay.
Great, perfect for that time period.
That was a flash in the pan. That was just like so brilliant for everything that we were doing and weren't doing, like in media. And just like disrupted everything to the point.
It's a lightning rod of culture.
Yeah, that has children of like Key and Peele, right? And just like even like some of the more edgier comedians, I guess, coming out probably get their cues from what Dave Chappelle was doing back then.
Yeah, but even then, it was just like it was way more insightful and important in culture for like its time and place. Because this was like not pre-internet, but this was before the internet really knew what it was, and it spread like viral, before like virality was a thing,
Right.
And I think that's half the reason he had to take a break from it, because he was one of the first people to really experience like pre-internet viral levels of just like not celebritydom, but just that level of notoriety.
Yeah, being like almost memified in the sense that he'd tell you that he'd go out to dinner or whatever with his kids, and like some stranger would come up to him and be like, "Rick James, bitch," like, it's like, can you not call me a bitch while I'm here, like eating with my kid?
No, for sure, that'd freak me out. I'd be like, I gotta fuck with this.
So seeing that, obviously we can't take away what was done, but I'm starting to think, because he has a writing partner, right? Neil Brennan. If you're familiar, okay?
Yep.
And despite Dave's name being the marquee name of the show, I'm starting to think Neil, who I think is actually a really great. I don't. He's a good comedian, but I think he's a better writer. I've seen him do like other like sort of performances.
Yeah, I've seen some of his stand up and like interviews and stuff, and he's okay. But yeah, maybe he grounded it and balanced him out in a way that maybe like together they we're better.
Yeah. So I'm starting to think that we gave too much credit to Dave Chappelle as being the genius.
Yeah.
And not enough credit to Neil. Because also, when you think about the top skits of that show, like, what's the first skit you think about when you think the Chappelle Show?
I mean, it's got to be either the black white supremacist or the Prince.
Amazing.
Or the Rick James bitch.
Okay.
Like those three.
So, if I were to hazard a guess, because they made a point to never say who came up with what skits.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So, but if I were to guess, I would say the black white supremacist was probably a Dave Chappelle special, something that was his like brainchild. But then the other two named off, that was Charlie Murphy's story.
Yeah.
So, like, his biggest thing was like Charlie Murphy's story that he just acted really well in and they put together in a funny way. So, just having that clarity, thinking about his legacy, and then watching what we're seeing now with the stand-up, I'm just like, dude, this guy is fucking lazy, and he's not all that funny anymore. Like, he doesn't craft jokes anymore. It seems. And on top of that, he's just cashing these checks, doing this bullshit. He's not even insightful anymore.
No, I mean, I think he knows, like, he has a built-in audience. He knows, like, the culture war type of commentary. Like, there's an audience for that. But yeah, I really don't think he has to try. I think the last time where I feel like he did put some effort into it was he had that outdoor sit-down special that was around after George Floyd died.
Yeah.
And he tried to be a little bit more insightful there and, like, have some sort of, hey, I'm your gentle uncle who's, like, important. But yeah, I think there's a certain level of, like, self-righteousness and him believing in his own, like, goatdom that it's just gotten away. It's like what happens when anyone gets too successful, like you get a little lazy, you get a little fat on the bone, and
people stop calling you out.
Yeah, like nobody's calling him out, like, and whatever, it's fine. It's like serviceable as like a entertainment, if you will, But like, it was like when I saw him and Chris Rock, it was night and day. Chris Rock his jokes were like crafted. His tonal delivery, it's kind of like one note. I don't want to say one note, but like he has his way of delivering jokes.
Right. He's Chris Rock. Like, he's unmistakable.
But it's like, it's very tight. There's like a rhythm to it. And he's like on it. And it was great. And I was laughing the whole way through.
Yeah.
Dave Chappelle's meandering. He rants. He just kind of like says stuff. And then it's kind of like, oh, deal with it.
Yeah.
And it's like, what? Like, that's not even like that interesting of a thought,
Yeah.
And you just think because you're Dave Chappelle and you thought it, that it's so poignant. And it's just not.
Right.
Like, you're out of touch. You're a rich, just kind of a rich, entitled asshole now.
Pretty much.
Like, sorry, that's who you are now.
I'm not sorry. That's exactly what he is.
Yeah,
like, I'm going to are you offended now?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not.
That mentality is just seeped through, like, everybody's, like, brain in a way that's like, I'm actually not that offended. I just think you're trying to be offensive in a way that's just being, like, makes you look like an asshole.
Well, that's the other thing, too, is, like, I'm not offended by it. So, the things, what you were saying with him doing his show after George Floyd, he was trying to make some points about some stuff. And, yeah, it was okay or whatever. But
I just mean that's the last time he tried.
Yeah.
Felt like.
Yeah. And I agree. But, like, lately, he's, like, his whole shtick now is being this, like, attacked, canceled comedian that no one's able to hear his truths about his, like, turfdom of being like, oh, yeah, there's two genders and making these trans jokes. I'm not offended by trans jokes. I just think that if you're going to say that shit, you have to come hard. Like, you have to have a really either, like, important point to make or a super sharp joke. Yeah. And he has neither when it comes to that stuff.
Right. It's again, and he tried to make fun of this whole punching down. It's like, you can call it out, but it's still kind of what you're doing.
Exactly.
Like, and you're not doing it well either,
Yeah.
Like, it's not, like, particularly, like, poignant or important. You're just feeling, like, victimized as a multimillionaire. Like, sorry, like, And this is the thing about what people call cancel culture. It's just people calling you out. Like, that's literally the internet just being like, hey. And again, like, that shit gets annoying. And like, if you go on any message board or any conversation comment section on Twitter, it's awful.
Yeah.
In both ways. But like, I don't think the right has like a monopoly on being canceled. They're out there fucking crying about everything and like call anybody out on everything. If you want to talk about like social canceling, like, you guys, you do it too. You just call it something else, you know?
Well, that was the original cancel, you know, and I try to explain to people about like identity politics, right?
Yeah.
Like, a lot of people think identity politics started in 2015 or 2008. Like,
Yeah.
oh, Barack Obama's president, and we're talking about black people stuff.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, like, oh, okay, like, this is identity. But the reality is, like, identity politics started the second, like, Europeans came to another country and determined that the non-white people were lesser than. Like, that's the immediate identity politics. Like, the second they said, "Oh, you're a woman, you can't vote," boom, that's identity politics. Everything we've done since then has been an effort to correct that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, it is like very absurd that we now live in this like area that's like that's where we were with that level of the identity politics was like, hey, this is right, and if you're not, well, we're gonna kill you. And now it's like, I don't even know what you would like. It's so superficial, the level of like chest beating that happens in this day and age with identity politics. It's just like kind of a joke, and I just think people need to develop actual identities beyond like a political side.
Sure, yeah.
Like,
be something other than your, who you vote for.
Yeah,
that's
please,
a novel idea.
For fuck's sake. Like, as soon as somebody says, "Ah, liberal,"
yeah,
or like, "Oh, this idiot Republican," it's just like, what are we doing, man?
Fighting a good fight, man.
Yeah, and that's like what, like, I guess I'm gonna put out there what we saw yesterday.
Okay, yeah, so we can move on to the main course.
I think it feeds into it.
Yeah,
for sure.
Now, obviously, we tease up the fact that you and I both worked for the Daily Wire.
Yeah, best years of my life.
Yeah, some good times there. But you and I haven't really spoken too much about them, or
you did like first episode, but that was like
a little bit. I mean, I'm kind of waiting because like I do plan to spill tea at some point and tell stories from my time there, but now isn't the time, I think. Yeah, in the future.
Stay tuned.
But yesterday, John sent me a text, and I was texting him trying to set up like what we're gonna do for the Chiefs game.
Okay.
And I was like, "Yeah, John, the game's at noon. Like, you want to meet here?" Well, we're just talking, and he's just like, "Yeah, that sounds good. I'm a little distracted right now. I'm watching Ben rap. I'm watching Ben Shapiro rap." John also worked at the Daily Wire.
Yeah.
And in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, he's either watching Ben's rendition of "Wet Ass P Word," if you remember that.
Wasn't that like a weird edit?
No, that was him. Well, it was an edit, but he absolutely like read those lyrics.
Oh, right. When he read them out loud, and then people actually put it to a beat.
Yeah. So I thought he was either rewatching that, or he was watching. Are you familiar with those Chorley guys?
Yeah.
Okay, one of the guys' name is he has a channel called Sir Spence.
Yeah.
And he does an amazing Ben Shapiro.
Right. Yeah, I've seen that.
And so he does a rap that's Ben Shapiro, which is hilarious. So I thought he was either watching one of those two things.
You were wrong.
I was very wrong when he sends me a link to something McDonald.
Tom McDonald.
Tom McDonald.
Tom McDonald.
Featuring Ben Shapiro.
Which is today, it has 3.6 million views in 2 days. It is number 2 trending on music on YouTube. Which is baffling.
Oh my God.
I had to rewatch it before this. And one thing I noticed, because the first time I watched it, I thought it was fake.
Okay.
Like, I thought the dude did a rap and like the AI like comped
Ben.
Ben in there. But then when I watched it, I was like, the reason it looks that way is because Ben looks so unnatural in like a hoodie and like it up and like trying to act like hard or whatever, because he just looks so beside himself. He's like trying to bob his head and shit. It's just not in him.
just not in rhythm.
And then I realized like the way he raps in it is like he has more of a melodic like cadence. Like he was coached so hard to get these like bars out. You know, like his normal speaking voice is faster,
exactly,
and has more like emotion. Yeah. He's so flat in this; it's amazing.
Well, it's funny because Ben has a very famous clip of him being like 12 or something, playing the violin somewhere, and he's like this musical prodigy. His dad was a composer for Hollywood.
Weird.
Yeah, so he comes from this very musical background. And like a very formal music. So because of that, in addition to his conservatism, he's always hated rap. So of course he's never like had that natural sort of
rap's not music.
Exactly. Sure yeah, he's of that. He's of that ilk. Like rap's crap. That sort of shit. So, to be fair though, pretty decent bars for a Ben, right?
I mean, I don't know.
He had some bars. Yeah,
but like it's. I can't even give him that credit, like because it was so formulaic in all things that he's ever said, and or that are in the like zeitgeist of that like anti-woke like fight the thing. Like it's so bad. Like everything about it is like it flowed fine, but it's like you could write like we could write a successful like rap.
Yeah, if we made it anti-woke,
like anything, dude. Pick a thing that's just like there's stupid talking points.
Yeah,
about.
Do a rap, $1 million, and that's the thing I want to talk about because my thing isn't about Ben. I don't give a shit about Ben being in there really, or
it's cringe.
It's cringe as fuck. But the problem is, I can't even take these people serious anymore. These anti-woke like writers of Christian rappers and this motherfucker, whatever he is, some like off-brand Post Malone, like because he's like on there talking about how we weren't turning your kids into thugs and we weren't turning your daughters into whores, and I'm like. You're not going to turn them into thugs or whores, but you will turn them to absolute clowns. Because look at yourself. This guy is covered. His face is covered in tattoos. Now I'm someone that doesn't really judge really on that sort of thing. But at the same time, you're clearly not someone that has the high horse or high ground as far as like being able to rear children better than. Like I'm not taking advice from you.
Well, yeah, no. I was listening to that song and like this. It doesn't more to compliment what you're saying because there's nothing in that is offensive either. It's like what he's saying. Like at the end he's going, like what is it? It's like I'm not. I don't care if I offend you. Yeah. Is what he's screaming, and the beat is like real fucking hard and shit. But he like doesn't say anything like that's offensive. It's like it's quasi Christian. But then also just like really dumb repeating of like the dog whistle, like Republican talking points. But he never says like anything super offensive. It's so filled with like preteen angst of like rebelling without a cause that you're just like, mom and dad, I don't care if you're offended. Like wait, you didn't offend me. Like, I don't care. I'm going to my room. Like trying to act so hard and so like it's so misguided in so many ways. Like the production of it and like everything about it is just like trying to be edgy, but it's literally like almost like a Christian box.
Yeah,
being like I'm edgy. I shoot guns, right? We shoot guns.
That was the other thing too. He was like saying how like wholesome he would be, but every single time he's like doing this, like he's shooting a gun.
I'm gonna raise your kids right.
What are you doing?
And he literally, like, the song starts with, like, the must-have thing to say in one of these, because it's not the only perpetrator of this type of rap. Yeah. It's this new version of, like, hard hip-hop, politically infused, anti-woke white rappers.
Yeah.
which is, if that's not the death like nail for all of hip hop, then I don't know what is.
I mean, think about that for sure. Like hip hop has a political genesis, but it's like
but it was
ground up
punk rock. It wasn't. It was anti-political in nature.
We can argue that at some point, but yeah. But the thing is, it was always like we're the downtrodden and we're like rising up, whereas this is just kind of like fuck you down here.
Yes.
Like, are you going to rap about like trickle down economics now? Is that what you're going to do?
Is that where we're going?
Anyway, what are you saying?
The Bush era economics. I forget where I was with the full thought, but the absurdity of it all, and the notion that you're acting hard when you're really just like repeating what the rest of the herd is saying, and like doing it like a fucking like 13-year-old next to Ben Shapiro, who's trying his best to act like he belongs in that scenario. Yeah, literally, one of the lines is, "What would I say to myself? What would Ben do?"
Yeah, and I was like, my
oh,
goodness,
wait, are we literally doing a "What would Jesus
Yes.
do?" Fucking like that's how hard you are.
Yes.
Like, where's your WWBD bracelet?
That's how Christian you are too. It's like Jesus and Ben are like,
it's so cringe too. And then meanwhile, like while Ben is at peak hypocrisy of like all of his Israel fucking like bullshit, wearing his facts sweater, where it's like you can't even justify your own facts right now. You're caught in your own mental entrapment of like bullshit you've put out for the last like however many years. You know, like I'm sorry, you're like a spider caught in your own web at this point.
Such a good point, man. Because that did cross my mind, but yeah, I'm glad you brought that up because you can't even the facts don't care about your feelings trope and the liberal tears, like that's done.
It's done.
Like you can't do that anymore.
You are that.
Exactly.
You are the embodiment of this like snake eating his own tail like meme of yourself, like with facts don't care about your feelings.
Shit, man. So he's talking about all this shit, and I can't take him seriously anymore because it's so clear what the business plan is for these anti-woke sort of rappers which is basically like step one, be a rapper, start a YouTube channel or a Spotify, where the fuck they do, right?
Yeah.
Step two, be a complete fucking idiot.
Yeah. Be fully retarded.
Yeah. Just like so stupid. You can't, like you have no thoughts in your head.
These are not your thoughts. You've literally rounded up every meme that the right has and regurgitated them in a rap song. Put
it into some sort of video format, put it out to the world, and basically look at the camera and go, "Are you going to cancel me?" Yeah. Right? Do that whole thing. And step four is profit. And it's just like, this is what you are now? Like,
it's
this
so
is your
formulaic.
Yeah. They all do it. Yeah. And I'm tired of it because it's stupid. It's fucking
real dumb.
It's real dumb. But the other thing is that it shows how, because it's so successful, that it's this marketable product,
easily replicatable,
a marketable product that damn near sells itself. You put yourself out there as just like faux anti-woke like asshole, and you just clean up around these fucking troglodytes that just cannot get enough.
Well, but it's two-sided too, because you get people like us who are just like, this is so cringe and so fucking stupid, that they share it with their friends who are basically laughing at it. It's like, you're a joke.
It's true.
But it's so weird because there are people who are literally like, this is so awesome. It's gonna own the libs. It's gonna own the libs. And it's like, and that's literally like all it comes down to anymore. There's the level of disingenuous like dialogue happening in any space is fucking absurd right now. It's either you're mad or you want to make somebody mad, or you're both. And it doesn't really matter. Like there's no nuance.
There's no ideology beyond. Like this is the ultimate emotional. Identity.
Yeah, and really, it's like steeped in like the education of like 8th grade is like the highest you went, and like that's all I'm capable of thinking about things. And like I can repeat everything my pastor told me, and like this is how far they get with their ideological development within this thing. It's like owning libs, Being ignorant is fun.
Proudly being ignorant.
Proudly ignorant.
These are badges of honor now when you can like own the libs or like just upset someone or by saying something stupid.
Yeah, and it's like I don't want to like actually develop a personality or thoughts for myself. I can just regurgitate all this bullshit, and the fact that it's as marketable as it is just like it's sad.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's and the irony behind that is like these people, especially when they get into these like these anti-trans, because like I saw one of these guys named Samson.
Samson.
I want to talk to Samson.
Yeah.
He's one of these white rappers, conservative rappers.
But he's hard as fuck.
You know what? He has some bars to be.
Look, the thing is rap has been around so long now, and like there are styles that are very replicatable at this point. Like you can study it; it wouldn't be like that hard. And if you have like a strong enough personality and a good enough voice and delivery, like like good. I'm not like musically, like probably some level of talent, but like the music industry in general is so bankrupt at this point. Like it's like, is he going to get clicks?
Yeah,
and
that's a good point.
How do I easily onboard clicks?
That's a good point. The children of Drake, below him is like a Jack Harlow. Yeah, and he has a very like replicable style where you just kind of like, you know, da 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 da, you know, just kind of doing these really, I don't want to call them simple, but they're like you said, they're boxed up in a way that anyone can do them. If you have that voice and that sort of bravado, and that's what these guys are doing. They all sound the same and they have the same sort of like flow.
I'd say they're all born out of Eminem though.
Well, Eminem's got more of a like Eminem crafts rhymes. Like this guy,
but I just mean it's like channel the anger, channel the intensity, channel the whiteness.
You really want to focus in on
and
that,
make it country. Not that Eminem really did that. Like that, they're not like no one can touch Eminem. Like he's great at what he does. I just mean they're pulling from those two things of the playbook, and then from the trashy Kid Rock. Like
Kid Rock is probably the closer.
Yeah, like you pull from here and you pull from here.
But so they do this thing. They all sound the same, and you know his thing. Samson was doing a song about like trans identity and keeping it away from the kids because we're hurting the kids, right? Yeah. This is a very common rap trope.
Yeah.
And
rap, protect the kids. Hip hop, 2024.
Exactly. Yeah, that's another good thing.
That's where we're at.
Yeah. So you're talking about all this shit about protecting the kids and being on point with what you're trying to say about what's wrong with the world and the degradation of society, when the real degradation is the fact that you can make money being a fucking idiot. Like, that's the true marker of a degrading society, when you can go in there and be a complete idiot and it's lucrative.
I mean, it's funny though, because that's not exclusive to this music instance.
Sure.
You look at like the Jake Pauls, Logan Pauls. Yeah. There's so many of these types of like, the Andrew Tates who mix like the chauvinistic machismo and the financial like alphadom of the world. And it's like, if you can, put on a large enough personality and say enough inflammatory bullshit, you can get recognition. Like,
all those things are signs of a degrading society.
Fuck yeah.
A functional society would see in Andrew Tate, and first off, realize you don't need him, because if you want to be fair to Andrew Tate, there's a need for him because there's a lostness in the soul of like males. Okay, I
understand. I disagree with that to a degree.
I mean, I don't say it's
not
true.
Need for him, but yes, I like that argument of like the male loss of identity.
Yeah.
Like, I think there is some truth to that in terms of a modern society, and like
he's not the solution.
Right?
There's a clear something there. It's like there's a void somewhere.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So
I mean, there's other studies of like men just not like going into higher education at like a much lower rate than women at this point too. So it's like clearly we're failing like the men of our country,
making less money.
Yeah,
in general,
but
also
still
less
being
than women.
told they're better than women. From like, you're the man. Yeah. It's like, am I?
Yeah, and then it's like, okay, well, if you're in a society where if the belief is that the man is supposed to not just be the breadwinner, but like if the belief is from a woman's angle is that this guy needs to make a certain amount of money,
or
he's not really worth it, that could cause a problem.
There's a rift.
Yeah. So yeah, there's something there, and Andrew Tate's not the answer, but the fact that he's being gravitated towards.
Oh yeah, he's there to exploit it.
Yeah. Right. Same with the Jake Pauls and all them, like being internet.
But this is the thing. It's like the algorithm, and it feeds it. It's like a fucking it feeds itself in that way. But like, if they are successful in doing it, like there's going to be more people who replicate that and copy that, and so it's kind of this like, train run off the tracks type of situation. There's no breaks, like unless we can figure out a way to like reestablish some level of like intellectual conversation or just a dialogue that's productive, as opposed to this whole like, you cancel me, I hate wokeness. I'm like, I'm a real tough guy because I don't like woke people, and I'm such a man. Like that's what these guys are saying. That's their rap.
So man,
I can shoot a gun, and I raise children. I hope you're offended.
Yeah, but so let's get back to that, because that's something that I kind of want to hit on harder, which is you're not offensive.
Yeah.
You're just dumb. You're a dumb person.
Yeah. Like, the only person who should be offended by you is you yourself.
And your parents.
Yeah. You're offending your parents and your reflection.
So it's like, how do you get that across? Because that's where a lot of the like arrogance comes from, is that it's like Dunning-Kruger 2.0, right? Where you just like, you're so simple-minded. I guess I like that term too. Like simple. I like when I like simple, and I like calling people clowns.
Clowns are good. I told you I'm trying to reclaim the word retard.
Let's talk about that. Actually, I want to.
You just want me to put myself into hot water.
Well, I mean, because I feel like you told me yesterday your thesis, and though I'm not there with you,
is generous.
It's very high level, thoughts you had.
My thoughts on wanting to be able to call people retards without getting canceled myself.
And I'm not, even though I'm not quite there with you, I thought you had a hell of a angle.
Yeah. Okay. So it's like there's been that whole thing of what is gay, right?
Okay. Gay as in not a gay person, but using the term gay.
Yeah, like South Park did an episode. I think it's like a Louis C.K. joke about something about when somebody does something really I don't know. Let's say the song is really gay, right? Like this Ben Shapiro song is super gay. We're gonna behave like children because this is the 18-year-old and all of us that can't help but to reverse to just this level of petulance, it's gayer than two gay guys, sucking each other off,
Right.
I don't the act of being gay. It's
you don't have a problem with.
That's great.
You're
good for
totally
them.
fine. Yes.
Fuck yeah, do some gay shit. That's awesome. You gotta celebrate that all day. But it's like words. When certain words have a certain level, there's a reason they catch on in those ways.
Like a scientific reason.
Probably.
No, not probably.
It's like the word fuck. It has power in it.
There's a phonetic, it almost massages the brain synapses in a way that releases dopamine.
Yeah, and is that primal? And should we evolve past certain things like that? Probably, to an extent. Sure. Especially gay, because it is one of those things that by design and lifestyle choices can be really problematic, on a lot of levels. So I don't really want to fully invest in that, but when it comes to the word retard, I want to call these people retarded.
You want to bring it back for the sole purpose of describing
what
the next level of modern stupidity.
Yes, these people, because moronic would probably be more appropriate, but it doesn't have the same power or impact.
Right.
And I don't think any mentally challenged person, whether it be disabilities or autism or whatever it is, I don't know all the different scientific diagnoses of anyone who has this mental challenges in life. Those people are awesome. Yeah. They're not fucking retarded. these people are retarded.
Right.
Because it's like you should know better, and you're behaving in a willfully ignorant, stupid, moronic, and retarded way. You know. So at the peak of your investment into this culture war is like you're going full retard.
Yeah.
You know, and you don't go full retard, but like this is where they're at with their level of like it's not thoughtfulness. It's like the antithesis of thoughtfulness when you're invested this heavily into identity politics that you think behaving that way and rapping about like being a Republican and like is cool.
Yeah.
Like that's retarded. And like I think like actually anybody well no, I just think it's retarded. And I want to call those people retards. And like again, like, I think no disrespect to any mentally challenged person because those people fucking kick ass and are like way more genuine than you trolls who like you're fully invested in being a troll. Which if you break down what a troll is, it's a disingenuous like asshole purposefully being an asshole like and that's where like the Republican Party is like you guys are more invested in being trolls, which is disingenuous, purposely stupid, and like I don't know, a victim because you act like a victim when you're like, oh, no one can cancel me, but I can just like dictate what society should be for everybody else, which is like the way it was.
Yeah,
like I like that more. It feels safe. It's like a blanket.
Yeah,
like that's what you're saying. You're a fucking child who can't fucking like evolve your thinking.
Okay.
Is that a rant? That's a rant.
I loved it. Okay, and like I said, and I think everyone who sees this is going to agree that
I can say retard now.
So and you said something the other day too that I thought was on point, which was the rant was clear that who you're talking about when you want to return this word back to the lexicon of everything. But also, even though I fully understood what you're saying and essentially agree with everything you just said, it's a very prickly word.
The R word.
Yeah, it's very prickly.
Should we call it the R word?
Though? No, that's even so worse. Dude. That's even like you don't want to do that. But it's like
only have one word that we have to refer to it by the letter. Like, anymore, it's like, come on, that's another sign of a declining civilization.
Right, you can't even say words anymore. But so it's a prickly sort of thing because I'm with you on what you're saying, but I'm just not quite there.
That's fine.
It's been years, you know.
It's
just
fine.
like, you know.
I can't go around calling everybody that.
Not yet.
No, and I shouldn't. You know, it's reserved for a very specific type of behavior, I think. Okay. And it's like when you're behaving like, a willful moron. You know.
So, you're saying this is reserved for
Let's
Republicans?
Call it the new retards.
Okay, let me ask you this: what if we coined a new term,
That's
and
hard.
we replaced the T with a P because we're talking about Republicans, reparted.
Reparted?
Is that?
I don't think it's.
Does it hit right? Doesn't it hit right? The T is really.
Yeah, because then they're gonna just switch it and call us retards for Democrats, and that sounds even better.
They were playing chess, people, not checkers. So you need to know. Okay.
This is what 3D chess looks like.
So I'm not sure if I'll ever return to saying like or calling people retarded. I may, but I'm pretty sure I won't because I like I said, I like clown.
Clown's great.
You know, look at this clown ass motherfucker. Like to me, it has another phonetic sort of like dopamine effect.
It's got layers to it too.
I can make jokes off of that, or calling people simple and being nice. You know, that sort of thing. Too,
like, this is the thing. It's like all these. Well, clown I think has broader implications.
I love clown.
It's got good coverage.
Yeah.
You know, like in terms of use case. Mine's like very specific. Like it's meant. It's a word that's designed to be like. Just you drop on like fuck you. Like that's what you are. You know, like. So like mine's more like what is it, like the missiles that go yours is carpet bombing.
Okay. All right, so I have a carpet bomb. You got more of like a stick, like a drone strike.
Yeah, that's a drone strike.
Okay.
And it's specific to them and people I play soccer against.
Well, yeah, because you get in fights still.
Yeah. I'm a grown man. I go out there and I start fights.
You fight people during the game.
I don't start them. I finish. No, just kidding. I'm nice.
Okay.
But no, I don't know. Like it's fully like not okay. I don't think it's okay. Like, and I also just like again, like I just don't think like mentally challenged people are retarded.
Yeah.
They're awesome, and those are like some of the most genuine, like sweetest fucking human beings. Like, they're way better people than these people who are literally better.
Yeah.
You should know better, and you're a social manipulator, and you're taking advantage of a situation.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's all you're doing. Like we could put down a list of like things that are retarded and not retarded, and just like that's retarded, and like mentally challenged people would not be on that list.
Okay. See, I can get behind the retarded thing. I don't think I'll ever be like, oh yeah, that's gay. Like I'm not gonna revert back to that.
I was only trying. I don't want to. No, I don't think we need to go there. I was just trying to use that as like an entry point for the type of thinking.
And you haven't done that, to be fair. I'm just saying.
Yeah, yeah. Like I think that word's far more problematic just because it's more immediate and like I don't know. It's we have to be better than that.
Yeah.
You know.
Someone just kind of round back to like the Chiefs. One of the things that people say, like, "Oh yeah, you're a big fan of Mahomo," and my thought is like, they still make you like. You're still a model,
of like type of humans.
Yeah, you're still a model of human that's out there.
There's a lot of people who like want to be homophobic, like big time. You know.
I don't know if I even caught them being like really homophobic because it was just like that's your joke. Like that's what you did.
Yeah.
Like, you just said that.
That's what like.
I felt bad for them. Like that wasn't like a sting to my Chief fandom or anything.
It's a retarded. It's a retarded thing to say. But this is what I mean. Like you gotta fight fire with fire. You know?
Yeah.
Like,
okay.
If they're gonna be bigoted, like homophobes and transphobes, like you gotta come with something that's like equal and or like as improperly used as that. You know?
So
like,
if you need something to get into that muck.
Yeah. If we're gonna fight with like, turd swords.
Yeah.
You got to show up with a turd sword, you know? That's what they're doing. They're all down in the fucking shit stew, pulling up all their fucking shit cakes and being like, look how awesome my shit is.
Yeah, it's awesome.
And it's like, well, and if you tell them that's shit, they're going to be like, well, you're gay. And then you have to be ready to hit them with the hard R on the retard. It's the only
Look,
way
man, you're selling this to me. Like,
it's the only way, The Democrats always want to try to take the high road on shit.
Yeah.
But like
progressives. I'm not a Democrat. I don't think.
No, I really don't identify as that, and like honestly, I don't even identify with politics at this point because like the choices are so fucking ridiculous that like, what is there to like feel like? That's what I don't understand either. Like how people get so deeply bonded with this like, stuff, And I realize like the Republican Party's done such a good job to emotionally manipulate like the playing field because like when I was talking to my parents, like and my mom came into it, it was like all it was just like emotional trigger point stuff. And it wasn't even politics. Like I'd just be like, she'd say stuff, and she'd be like upset, and I'd be like, this is all very upsetting stuff, but this isn't political.
Right.
Like it's like child sex trafficking. Everyone agrees that's bad,
except for those fucking Democrats.
Well, no, but that's what I mean. That's why it's like crazy that it's like they're like, well, I can't get on board because they're like. No, what?
Trafficking children or something.
Yeah, but like it's
pizza shops.
So you're thinking everyone who like mentally associates like in any form as a Democrat is supportive of like child sex, like trafficking, and it's like the same thing that happens with this like whole trans thing. They're like, they're mutilating children's genitals. And it's like, so you're saying everyone who agrees with you wants to mutilate children's genitals? Is that how far you've gotten in this like intellectual like discourse within your own community?
Right.
Is that like, oh no, I've seen it. It's like, so you're saying everybody who disagrees with you wants to like mutilate children's genitals?
They
the ever and all inclusive they.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like,
tendrils and everything.
The tendrils.
This like shadow puppetry of just, you know, these all powerful beings manipulating every move. And
that's right.
And the thing about that is you don't have to make up this shadow cabal of people controlling everything. Like, that's out in the open. They're called CEOs.
Yeah.
And like world leaders.
It's called capitalism.
They
do it in daylight.
It's like they're not hiding this shit at all. Like, you don't need to pretend and make up a new boogeyman. He's right there.
Yeah. And it's not to say like there aren't terrible travesties that happen, like, and that these things don't exist, but these things aren't political.
Yeah.
Like, most everyone agrees that like these things are bad. And it's the same, like the border is like, there is a crisis there. Why is it political? Like, there should be solutions, and instead it's just pointing the finger and being like, well, it's obviously there's issues there that need to be sorted. But like, politics should be talking about what are possible solutions. Instead it's just vitriolic, moronic, like name calling and using it as a way to be like, they're trying to cancel me because I had an opinion about the border, but really my opinion was just like the same opinion that everyone's been saying for like 15 fucking years. This is like, it's your rap.
Yeah.
I rap that.
Put it out there. Yeah. On flow. Yeah. It's fucking bizarre, man. And it's something sad. We can talk about. Sad. Degradation. Retarded.
It's a little retarded. But that's why it's like the only word that like keeps coming back. Like, that's how we're behaving. Like, in a way of like, well, are we discussing anything of any merit? No, it's literally just like woke. Like,
yeah,
dude, this word has gotten so out of control in the way that people want to discuss anything. It's like, is it woke or not? You can literally put anything. Like, not to name names, somebody that I speak to a lot, send me like electric car stuff. Okay. It's like how the DEI and like electric cars are woke. And I'm like, I get DEI, like how that's like, because that's literally like, most people don't like DEI in terms of just like corporate speak, but it's not the boogeyman that like you want to make it out to be. It's just the new 3-letter word or 3-letter like abbreviation that like took over CRT, because CRT people just couldn't really figure out what the hell it was. Now DEI is easier. People are like, no, I don't like that. When HR talks to me about like diversity and also
inclusion, you want to do that shit? Like, nah. Not for me, dog.
Yeah. It's very silly. But wait, I had another point that I lost before I.
So someone said you woke electricity,
it's like electric cars are woke apparently.
Okay.
And it's like, that doesn't even make sense, because like Elon Musk is like the big alt-right fucking like people love him.
Yeah.
Right. And
yeah.
Everything he does is like, get him, the ultimate troll daddy, you know, like. And that guy's such a fucking, like, what a joker.
I mean, I feel like we go another hour on just Elon Musk, because he's such a fucking fraud. Like, between him and like Jordan Peterson, like, there's like just frauds out here, and that go back to this industry based on being fucking idiots.
Yeah, that is just bullshitting, you know. But this is the thing, though. It's like, you can call them a fraud, but it's like they're a successful fraud. You know, and like that's where we live. It's like the biggest successes are the biggest frauds. It's like, what are you adding to anything? You know, like you're just speaking the most and the dumbest, and like consistently like stoking the flames of your fucking retard fans.
And it brings big money. They're eager to give you money and clout if you like stoke that for them.
Yeah, it's like, this is why I think I want to call people, because I don't think I'm smart.
Okay.
I don't think I'm smart. But when I feel like a fucking super genius next to like some of the shit that people are saying, like they have to be retarded. It's like if you're stupid and here's me, and like they are like fully seem like operating like Gollum level fucking like just parroting the bullshit they can hear, then they have to be retarded.
Yeah, again, solid point.
I'm just on it. And
this is hard to argue against. My only response is just how prickly the word is. But
it is.
Everything you're saying around it is like 100%.
You can be stupid and like you can be not smart, and you can be still like more thoughtful and considerate, and like this is the thing. No one wants to everyone wants to be offensive. Yeah. So like, okay, fine, you want to be offensive. I'm not here. What is it?
Not here to.
Wait, it's not. I'm not here to offend you, because he is here to offend you.
I'm here to offend you. I don't know.
It literally is like, I don't care if I offend you. So that's where I'm at. I don't care if I offend you.
Who is this clown?
I don't know. Was he famous before this?
Dude has like 4 million subs.
That's what I mean. I keep seeing these like weird white rapper dudes, like country trash rappers that are just like an amalgamation of things too. You got to talk about that, because he's literally just like pulling the style and the face tattoos of like the mumble rappers and like that level of culture, and trying to be also like wholesome while being edgy. Christian values, but I like guns. And he's offensive.
It's like a youth pastor who comes in.
Like, are you the hardest youth pastor?
Yeah. He just takes the chair and sits backwards. Let's rap for a minute. Jesus was a rapper himself back in his day.
Did he cuss once in that?
I want to say he did.
I don't think he did, because Ben probably wouldn't have agreed to do it if it had a bunch of curse words in there. You know what I mean? Like that's
Ben cusses. No, Ben cusses.
Ben I don't know. I feel like.
Yeah,
maybe
he cusses.
Okay, whatever. But that's not very fucking Jewish. You better go pray about those curse words.
Oh, fuck, man. Yeah, it's just like all stupid thing.
But this is what I mean. Okay, so like
final thoughts.
So final thoughts, and I just have to make one more point about this. It's like you are such an amalgamation of this like political identity politics. This rapper man. That like you don't even know what your identity is. Your song is so convoluted and steeped in these stupid fucking dog whistles that like look at you. You like want to be hard, but you're like talking about how you're gonna raise kids. You are pointing guns at the thing, but talking about how like you are like wholesome or something. I don't like. There is no point, and your identity is so marred in so many different like ideas, like that you've basically stolen from everything, and you think you're original, and you're not. You're just there saying you're offending people, and you're not. You basically put a WWBD bracelet on. You should get that tattooed on your fucking forehead.
Yes, please.
And you're not offensive. You're a fucking dork.
Yeah. Like you're edgy, but you're soft as fuck. Like
you're just a dork.
And with that, no one asked for this. No one asked for that song.
I don't want this shit. I hate this shit.
So yeah, I don't know. New episodes every other year or whatever.
It took me 3 tries to watch that song all the way through.
I loved it.
I know there is the cringe of like cringe is like a self-love hate. And I think everyone has different like thresholds for it of just like this is the best, and it's like, and others it's just like it's like the nail on a chalkboard, but then you're like can't not.
Oh man,
but cringe sells too, I guess.
It does. I mean, but
it's part of it.
They don't know it's cringe. It's just like
they gotta know.
Yes,
he's gotta know on some level.
I think
is that just owning the libs?
Yes, I think everyone that's above but into that thing is just so tickled pink by seeing Ben rap and own Lizzo, because I guess he had like a Lizzo line in there where he said his pockets were like Lizzo, they were fat.
I mean, yeah, we almost need to do a line for line breakdown of that song. Just
should have done that.
How stupid it is, and it's impressive. But yeah, I don't know. That's the closest to final thoughts. I think.
Yeah. No, that's enough. That's enough talking. I just had to get that off our chest because I was just fed up with these fuckers, man. They're just so. I'm just done with them. So I'm going to talk about it. Glad you're here.
The canceled.
Yeah, the
brave canceled few
that
are willing to stand up and exploit the situation. And the morally corrupt music industry that's there
so
to
brave,
prop them up.
So strong.
They are really brave.
So powerful.
There's the troops, and then there's them.
Yes, right above them.
They're right there, just the last bastion of free speech.
Yep.
The warriors on the front line of free speech.
Heart
to the heart, hats off.
Yeah. Whenever I see a canceled person like in an airport, I let them board first, and I thank them for their service.
Yeah.
So. All right, well, that's it.
That's it. Nobody asked for this.
Nobody asked. Bye.